had to help you. She had to go pour the little oil and shit. Yeah, I mean, you just sitting there waiting. Anybody ever been stuck before? It's not a good feeling. So would you really want to be trapped? So why listen to trap music? You don't want to be drilled. You understand? So why listen to drill music? You don't want drill in your life. So why listen to drill music? You know what I'm saying? Even if like, I'll take your man. Is that fun? Is it fun to get your man took? Is that fun? Do people lose their life over that type of shit? Do people end up in jail over that type of shit? Is any of that really fun? Think about it. I'm not talking about the toxicity that has convinced you it's fun. I'm saying a reality of you don't even know when you go to work if one of your friends is trying to sleep with your husband or sleep with your boyfriend, or one of your brothers is trying to backdoor you on your girlfriend or on your wife. You understand? Or one of your homeboys is trying to get at your girl. You notice your girl, your homeboy knows your girl, he's still trying to get at her. That makes you uncomfortable. You can't even feel like you can't even bring your girl around the guys because you got the guys trying to plot on the girl that you with. There's no respect. There's no honor. But what every rapper say, I'll take your. You understand? And then whatever female, I'll take your man. So you'll take somebody woman, you'll take somebody man. Everybody taking everybody from everybody. Diseases is running rampant. You understand? It takes too much work for a motherfucker to get checked up now. Because you're dealing with too many people. You got to get checked up every week. People don't want to do that. So they just wing it. And then you hear these stories. Am I making any of this up? Stop me when I am. Where the shit done ran rampant in the community. Everybody in the community got herpes. Say, how is this possible? I say, you really need to know? You really need a scientific lesson on how sexually transmitted diseases are transmitted? It's in the word. Or it's in the phrase. Then motherfuckers start saying shit like this. Oh, just everybody got chlamydia. Everybody has it. In one community. But everybody's sleeping with each other still. Then, for the righteous ones, where you honoring, you doing what you're supposed to do. You ain't stepped out the house. You understand? You been faithful to who you been faithful to. But they step out, and they bring some shit to you. This ain't for you to be paranoid. I'm telling you, is this fun? Is it fun? The actuality of it, is it really fun? When it's not fun to contract. It's not fun to come up with all these different illnesses that they got out here, diseases they got out here. It's not fun to be paranoid, all right? But they got all this music about. So promiscuous music, is it really a reality you want? And it's not. Murder music, is that fun? No, it's not. When people die, this shit ain't fun. Black youngster lost a brother. He was on here crying his heart out. Talking about God. This is the same motherfucker who promoted death and laughed and mocked a motherfucker who died. That, you talking about him? Crying about death? Ain't no way. Say it ain't so. Black youngster, that must mean that this shit ain't no fucking game. So why are you promoting it to other people like it's just supposed to be fun and then your brother get killed? Rest in peace to your brother. He gets killed and now you on here crying. And you want to go to war with the world because the shit ain't fun. So stop promoting it. I'm not talking about natural death. I'm not talking about stop telling stories about the elders who lived and went on because it's promoting natural death. You're talking about an unnatural death where all of us in here is experiencing some way, shape, form, or fashion, someone taken away from us. All right. That should still be here. Meaning, if it were not for that event, that's a different type of pain that a mother goes through, that a brother goes through, that a sister goes through, and you glorify it. There's a different type of pain where even if you were to get justice for the person, it's not enough because the person is still not here. You would rather them be here than the motherfucker be in prison. That's in all actuality. Justice is one of the ways to put a Band-Aid on something. It doesn't really heal. You understand? So then why promote it? So when I came out and challenged the music industry and said, y'all, what are y'all doing? What are we doing? 4PF, what are y'all doing? YSL, what are y'all doing? 4K Trey, what are y'all doing? YFN, what are y'all doing? OTF, what are y'all doing? This isn't a fun situation in reality. And all of y'all have suffered losses. The fact that all of you have suffered losses, you lost Nipsey Hussle, what I say in the Fly High song. You lost Pop Smoke, Nipsey Hussle, Vaughn. You understand? PNB Rock passed away, murdered. And Black Youngster made a song, dropped a song afterward and said, don't make this robbery hard. You get shot in your face. Triple X died from gunfire. Dolph died from gunfire. How did Takeoff die? Gunfire. And you motherfuckers still got the nerve to even promote. Why is Lil Baby still promoting artists that's pushing this shit? Because how did Marlo die? Gunfire. How did Hot Boy Jimmy die? And that was one of my peoples. Although it were an accident, how did he die? Gunfire. Hot Boy Jimmy was one of mine. I knew Hot Boy Jimmy personally. He went to school with me. That young brother would come in. We had the same class. We had a teacher at our class named Miss Thompson. He would come in, sit, him and his brother DT, who I understand why you walked away too, bro. I understand. I get why Nuda walked away. I get why all y'all walked away, because you don't like the fact that I call everybody out. But if you knew me, I've been doing that since we was in school. But him and DT used to come in, who now people know as Cold-Hearted Savage, and they'll sit. And they was how they was. When they come in class, they was how they was. They was in their state that they was in. And they be having this shit going on. I'll be doing the classwork. And I would sit, literally be us in the back of the class. I sit across from the two of them, and I would teach them. They would ask certain questions about Illuminati and the Masons and Christianity, religion, and what this mean and what you do when you say what that symbol mean. They would sit and they would listen. And what I noticed, DT was listening, but Jimmy was listening more. And he really started to apply it. You understand? Gunfire. And you still glorified it. That's why I came out against them. And I didn't mind making them uncomfortable. I didn't mind reminding them of the discomfort that we experience every day in our communities. I don't mind reminding you that the reason why Takeoff died is because of the climate that y'all support. You want me to cry for Takeoff, and you ain't crying for these thousands of children that's losing their life. Somebody tell Dirk that it ain't just about changing the message. It's about reversing what you've done. Somebody tell 21 Savage that part of the reason why everybody went on drill is because of him. He's the main reason, as a matter of fact. It's because of what? Red, peep the color, ops. That changed everything. I was there, DJing. That shit changed everything. Red ops. So instead of being upset with me, Because I'll tell the truth and speak the truth and do something about it. If you know, you know. Deal with it for real. I explained in the book Out of the Darkness why Trouble was killed. Did anybody else explain it? Is anybody else paying attention? Did anybody else pay attention to the fact that Trouble's name ended with the light word or? O-R-R, or, light. His middle name, C. Monte, C. Monster, go look it up, which is Leviathan. It's right here in the book. I got it. Y'all are set with me for the wrong things. It's right here. Where is it at? Did I put Trouble in out of the Darkness? I think I did. That should be in the beginning then. 20, and said that after a group of stars fell, a great group of stars fell, after a great group of pillars collapsed, listen, after a group, there you go. Well, I explained to people, I said, look, I'll read it for you. If you have been watching, you may have noticed that ever since the music industry started to lose pillars back to back over these past few years, since 2019, 2020, artists with more positively charged messages like Tim's and Iniko have risen up in the algorithm. You may or may not remember, yet it is still a fact, that I uttered the prophecy back in 2020 and said that after a group of stars fell, a great group of stars fell, after a great group of pillars collapsed, listen, after a great group of celebrities fell, other pillars of light would rise up to assist the efforts of rectification, and then the pillar of phase one would rise up in the east. Tim's and Iniko were two examples of pillars that rose up with messages and tones of enlightenment. You can read the realm as I have taught you how to in my other books and teachings and songs, and you can see when and why these two pillars rose up. These two artists were sending out messages dealing with the time we're in, where there's evidently a spiritual war, listen, in the Out of the Darkness book, taking place. We wrestle not, Israel. We wrestle not. We struggle not against flesh and blood, if you hear me. All right? Tim's, the name, brings you to the word tempest, which is the Latin word for what? Time. Iniko, the name, literally means the time of trouble. About a month after Iniko released the MP3 for the viral song King's Affirmation. Listen, King's Affirmation. The rapper called Trouble was killed by a man. Who remembers the name of the man? Remember, I released this book this year. Who remembers the name of the man who killed Trouble? Somebody comment. Did anybody remember? Who killed Trouble, the rapper? What was his name? His name was Michael. Michael. His name was Michael. Right? Watch this. About a month after Iniko, which means time of trouble, released the MP3 for the viral song King's Affirmation, the rapper called Trouble was killed by a man named Michael. I want you to look closer at the name of the murderer. Means God, and Michael means one who is like God. That name, Michael, is the name of a warring angel that is mentioned in the book of Revelation. He and his fleet of angels war with and are set to war with, I don't think y'all understand yet. He and his angels war with and are set to war with Satan, the dragon, Ta'anin, that old serpent called the devil, Revelation 12, chapter 12, verse 7 through 9. Now let's break down the name of the rapper who was slain. Trouble's real name. Remember, I released this earlier in this year, 2023. All right. Trouble's real name is Mariel. Coincidence? No such. Mariel, which means what? Star of the sea. The starfish, which is the five-pointed star of the sea, which is Leviathan, the sea serpent. His middle name, Samante, means seaman, as in seaman, all right, or that seaman or sea monster that is called Leviathan. You'll find it in the book of Job, chapter 41, which is 4 plus 1 also equals 5. And is allegorically identified as the light being of the morning. What's his last name? Or. The word or, O-R-R, literally means dark or pale or the lesser light. As the Hebrew word O-H-R, all right, means light. So Mariel, Simante, or. The star of the sea, Leviathan, the dark light, is murdered or slain by one who is like El. I don't think you understand yet. I don't think you understand yet. Right? The song Wait For You by Future and Drake, featuring the sampled vocals of Tempest, came out May 3rd, 2022, and Trouble was killed June 5th, 2022, only a month later. I said, do you think all of this is a coincidence?
I said, Iniko released the song King's Affirmation as an actual recording on April 29th of 2022, days before the release of the song Wait For You. Those 3 months were literally the Iniko, the time of trouble. Waiting for someone is also something that is done with respect to consideration of the time. This is the same message I've been sending out, telling those of you who have walked with me thus far, as I'm still here in the flesh, that I won't be able to stay, quote unquote, here. And I've been waiting for you. What's the question? Can you see me on the edge? I'm enlightened. What is the edge? Remember,
I taught you what the edge was, the limbus, or the limbic system, all right, in the brain, where once you cross over that and move toward the prefrontal cortex, you leave that world of purgatory or hell behind, or the reptilian world. Where's the reptilian world, Faise? It's somewhere called the reptilian brain, the basal ganglia. Research everything I'm telling you, all right? In both the King's Affirmation song and the Higher song, there's a message of enlightenment, an announcement of a new frequency coming forth by day, which is the sun, the greater light, not the night, the moon, the lesser light. The song Higher makes mention of time and what? War, listen, and the trumpet being blown, waking the broken ears up to the day and time we're in, as that Trump was literally leaving the office. That Trump was Donald Trump, who was in office from the year 2016, all right, to the year, what, 2020.
That song came out in 2020, which was widely understood to be the year of revelation, the year when the 19 arose to the crown, further confirming the hidden secret of the Quran called Code 19, Corona 19, which deals with the surge of enlightenment, the evolutionary explosion that turns the human being into a supreme being or a supreme human being. And so it played out. Future and Drake collaborated on that song called, what? Wait For You. But they completely perverted and corrupted the message of the original song, which was called Higher, for a sole reason, and took people from the crown, the higher point, all the way down into the root. This comes as no surprise, being that Future identifies with and he represents for the low life, and Drake identifies with and he represents for the sixth God, not the nine. This collaboration project and its product was, in fact, literally an attack on the higher frequency, an attack via music / magic. For the person who was saying that the candle was the magic, again, I'm telling you in his book, all right? Trust me, I know magic when I see it. I literally put it there in bold, so you can't miss it. Trust me, I know magic when I see it. It's the reason why I would say that. The concept goes from the high vibe, speaking of the urgency of waking up from a sleep state and realizing the day and time we're in and taking action, to the low vibe, speaking on doing drugs, popping pills, being drunk, or in an intoxicated state of mind. All right? Or a destructive mind. Remember, what is the word? Berkowitz. Destructive mind. BW. The BW that appears on the album cover. All right? For To All Dogs or To All Jackals. Listen, they even went as far as opening up the music video, which literally took place in the Drake ages, the dark ages, the age of Drakeness, the age of darkness, with a book entitled The Tale of the Toxic King.
Now let me show you. If I'm making it up, you wouldn't see it there, but you do see it there because I'm not making it up. This was in the beginning of the music video for a song that originally was called Higher. How you go from Higher to The Tale of the Toxic King, all right, isn't beyond me. I know exactly how or why. All right. In that music video, they highlighted and put much emphasis on the queen. which is actually phonetically Quean, which means prostitute. I said, take a note to remind yourself to go back and read the book of Revelation chapter 17. And you'll see how the toxicity is of the beast and the whore, also called the prostitute. The original brown-skinned female woman artist Tim's is nowhere to be seen in the music video. And that feminine image is replaced with an image likened unto a Caucasoid female / woman. That woman was also draped in the garment of the medieval kingdoms. The who? The medieval kingdoms. Listen. Their song and video emitted the frequencies of the Dark Ages, the Knights Templar, the Setites, the ones who follow Set or Shaitan, Satuk, the reference to the early morning or the late at night, which is Lucifer, the morning star, or Halal, or Hillel, or Bab, or Babel, or Baphomet, or Set. I said, keep in mind that Set, being the ancient Egyptian god of confusion, bears
the same tones that are used to describe in English the action of the sun going down, quote unquote. This is when the sun sets and nighttime ensues. Can you see the connection of that which is referred to as nighttime to that which is referred to as the Knights Templar? Remember, Thames ties to tempus,
which means time. And the word night is phonetically equivalent to the word night. So what is night? Night. And what is Templar? Tempus, which is time. Nighttime. I said, and nighttime is the time of the moon or Luna, the age of what? Trapment, concealment, hiding. All right. I said that cycle has ended. This is the sun cycle. This is the time of enlightenment. I said to all of you who have it already made up in your minds and written in your essences to wake up the masses via your art, please do not forget that this music industry is full of wicked, low-life Wiccans and witches, all right, and warlocks who worship the 6 ether frequencies, also referred to as the 6
God. They are in no way, shape, form, or fashion on your side. They have already chosen who they will work for and who they will worship. Do not forget that these are Baphomet soldiers and agents. These are demonic beings that are disguised as human beings. They only care about themselves, not the masses. And we, the people, have to be united in our efforts of discontinuing and reversing our acceptance of their states or statuses, from murder culture to drill culture to promiscuity culture and so on. They, the celebrities, are the stars or the gods or the idols that you were warned not to worship. Remember, reader, earth family of mine, there is a war on consciousness. Walk away from the God of this world and come back into the God of the soul. It is that time again. I said, think back to the book of Matthew chapter 6, verse 9 of the Bible. And remember that 6-9 is that polarized sacred number referred to Who Knows the Secret book by Phase 1. Matthew 6-9, all right, through 13, says, after this manner, therefore, pray ye, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Amen. All right. Those verses were about reaching out to those celestial or heavenly beings called God or gods or Elohim or extraterrestrials. And the prayer was saying for God from above, which is the sky, which is Anu, to bring your kingdom to earth. This lets you see that this world was not under the control of or under the rulership of the God, as in the green light God or the emerald light God, as most people may know or believe that quote unquote God to be. That means that
up to right now, those people who people think of as God don't run this world. The God of this world, even according to 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4, all right, the God of this world, who is Satan, or age, as I mentioned earlier on, has blinded the minds of believers, or excuse me, unbelievers, so that they cannot see the light of the gospel that displays the glory of Christ, who is the image of what? God. And if you notice in my books, I color code these things for a reason. Green. Green. Green, 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 green. You understand? So you know exactly who and what I'm talking about when, unless there's a transformation that's being hinted toward. All right? Is Shaitan or Satan, meaning beings who oppose the so-called natural order and therefore allow their animalistic nature to take them over. How long can Drake brag about murders? The justice system will not convict Drake. I'm going to say it again. The justice system won't convict Drake. Remember when I broke it down, I said, Drake got friends. You understand? And the mob ties run deep. It ain't just Drake Prince and them niggas over there in Houston some motherfucking way. Mob ties is the judge. Mob ties is the prosecutor. Mob ties is the DA. That's the mob ties. He say they just gave this nigga a deposition. How he evade that? How you think he evaded it? They didn't even want to entertain. Listen, I paid attention to all the shit that was going on. They didn't even want to entertain the idea. Yet, Thug, who is not on Drake level, all right? Thug just one of the little snakes. Drake is one of the big goats. Okay? Thug get hit, and they bringing all his music in the court. They bringing songs he made when he was 5. You know what I'm saying? And Drake, who puts out a whole album with words, details, bragging. Especially the fallen soldiers. Nigga leave, they hate him. When he gone, they appreciate him. Draco, 100 rounds, bitch that game. Heard a grandmama cry. Neighborhood full of killers, I wonder why. I'm tired of seeing niggas die. If you ever lost somebody to all they gun violence, gon' put a light up to the sky. Shit gon' get better, we gotta do more than try. But until then, fly high. I know I got enemies patiently waiting, let them niggas fly. Only reason they blackball me, cause I told the truth. Had to call them out, this shit was overdue. Ain't you a real nigga, what we supposed to do? But I forgot this shit ain't about to soul for you, cause you done sold that too. It's true, got the y'all niggas on death row. Been the black guy, tryna be like you with a 40 Glock. Going 38 crazy, they tryna be 38 babies too. Baby assassinate 2 with the 2. They inherited beat, they got through in the stew. And it too many youth that we losing and shooting the music influence. Somebody explain to me something. Why the fuck are we screaming out Black Lives Matter when niggas steady hollering, kill a nigga? We pop out with a gang and we bump it. Bitch, I'm black, not ashamed to be nothing. I'm a native, I'm all of that. How we asking police where they heart is at? When we killing more niggas than heart attacks, what a heart in that? I just wanted my people to know a fake rapper never cared about you. Y'all the ones at the funerals burying babies. We could have been fixed this shit. But niggas too focused on making they paper. RP the fallen soldier. Put them gun down, boy, this shit ain't the way that boy say it. Rest peace, ROE, especially the fallen soldiers. Nigga leave, they hate him. When he gone, they appreciate him. Draco, 100 rounds, bitch that game. Heard a grandmama cry. Neighborhood full of killers, I wonder why. I'm tired of seeing niggas die. If you ever lost somebody to all they gun violence, gon' put a light up to the sky. Shit gon' get better, we gotta do more than try. But until then, fly high. Know there's some devils who think it's a game to get extra out the box. Only reason they don't fuck with me, cause I told the truth. We lost Pop, Biggie, Pop, Smoke, Bun, Triple X, and Nipsey Hussle to them guns. Y'all be talking about this shit like it's fun. Like when you gone, this shit ain't over and done. From the OGs and the big homies and the little scraps, time to bring it